You're never going to lose the beard, Rudy.
Hello and welcome this morning to a very special show. The full English breakfast show is what I wanted to call it. We overcame the English last weekend, but a very special day for South Africa and New Zealand. It's the World Cup final. It's going to be very interesting. We welcome all our viewers from wherever you're watching in the world. Kia ora to our New Zealand supporters, to our South African supporters, wherever you're watching. What a day it is. It's a pleasure for me to also have two wonderful guests here in studio today, Mr. Phillip Bosch, Mr. Emilio Tobias. Gentlemen, before we get into the intricacies and nuances, how are you doing?
Good morning, Ruudz.
No,
you can go, Emilio.
no, I'm saying I'm good, man. I'm just an attachment, like anything that trigger me now, man. I'm jumping.
Mr. Phillip?
I'm all good. I've been awake since 5 o'clock this morning, watching a bit of John Smith and JP Peterson and all talking about the World Cup and the hype about it. And yeah, so they are nervous, so who are we?
Absolutely,
So,
man.
yeah.
I love the confidence coming through there. Before we go any further, I just want to give a shout out, obviously, to the sponsors of Forever Rugby and Forever Sports, channel partners, BOYLESPORTS, obviously the official betting partner. So if you guys in the comments decide you want to do more than just predict, you want to actually take out a bet, they will match you up to R1,000 starting bonus. So perhaps an opportunity there if you're feeling a bit lucky. As well as Bitdefender, the global leader in cybersecurity, always transforming and enhancing your digital experience. So a big shout out to them. I want to challenge all the viewers who are tuned in or will be tuning in post live show to share this link with your friends and family. Share with at least 5 people. All the links that you can today on Forever Sports, the live watch-alongs, the shows with Daniel this afternoon, the Bryce show with Stephen and Reza. Let's get that fierce going for the Springboks this afternoon as we build up to a very historical day. Mr. Phillip, before I get to you, I just want to give a bit of background to the viewers so that they can familiarize themselves with you. Mr. Phillip Bosch is currently the chairman of the EP Rugby Referees, the coordinator of the Southern Region Referees, and as a player played provincial rugby for Eastern Province and actually paired up with the likes of Alistair Coetzee, who was coincidentally coaching Namibia at this World Cup. So wonderful experience for him at 9 and 10 there. Made his debut at age 19, played club rugby for Harlequins from 92 to 2000 and went on to win the Grand Challenge, which is a regional competition in the Eastern Cape in 2000 for the first time, and then started the refereeing career in 1999. From primary school Craven Weeks to high school Craven Weeks, he's refereed in the Currie Cup, Super Rugby, 3 Junior World Cups, Dubai, Ireland and Wales, as well as experience as an assistant referee in test matches in Argentina when they played against Ireland and Scotland. Like the Glenn Jacksons, the Egon Seconds, is one of the few individuals who's played and refereed the game at a provincial and professional level. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome you that way, Mr. Phillip Bosch. In your opinion, it's a very historical day. We talk about 28 years ago. The Springboks and the All Blacks met in the final. Can you take us back to that day? Can you remember it? Share your thoughts with us.
Yeah, I can't. Thank you for that great introduction, Ruudz. I can remember exactly where I was in 1995. My brother, my late brother, he was a big All Black supporter. He was one of those who supported New Zealand in everything they played. If they played 10-pin bowling, he will support them. If they played cricket, he will support them. So he was a New Zealand supporter. All outs New Zealand supporter. Not unlike South Africans who support New Zealand, but they support Australian cricket or they support the Proteas in cricket. He was a true and true New Zealand supporter. So I watched that game at his house with a couple of friends on the day, and one of my friends actually made a bet with my brother on the day. So the one he just bought a new Sierra. and he said, "Well, if the All Blacks beat the Box, then my brother can get the Sierra." And my brother had an All Black cap, so the bet was if South Africa beat New Zealand, you will be on his bonnet, and he will do something in that cap which I can't mention live live
Yo,
on.
okay, okay.
So funny enough, we obviously beat New Zealand on the day, and these things happened. Eh?
Sure.
It
Awesome, man.
happened, but it was a wonderful day, and obviously my brother wasn't that happy, but a lot of us were on the day.
And just touching on that, your brother didn't feel, was he of the notion that the All Blacks were poisoned? Because I know that rumor is still running around that we
Yeah,
messed
no,
with their food.
I coincidentally listened to Jeff Wilson yesterday, and he spoke about it. He just mentioned that they chose the wrong food to eat, I think, and he was nauseous and he was taken off the field at a stage. But my brother wasn't phased about that. He accepted it was sour for him, but he accepted that they lost on the day.
Awesome, man. And then, of course, my other guest, Mr. Emilio Tobias. For the viewers that don't know him, I just want to share a little bio here. He's a Comic Choice Awards nominee, a stand-up comedian, proudly South African, currently based in Quebec in the Eastern Cape. Emilio is originally from the southwest township of Johannesburg and has been in comedy since 2015. You may have seen him on MTV's Guy Code South Africa season 1 or 2, or on Comedy Central's As a People. Emilio is effortlessly hilarious and has made people laugh in countless cities across South Africa and Namibia. What a pleasure, Emilio. Tell me, were you walking by the time it was 1995? What are your experiences, family-wise, that you could perhaps
Hey, my
recall?
man. No, bruh. I have zero memories from the 1995 World Cup. I was barely walking. I'm born in 1993, bruh.
Okay.
My memories of 1995 World Cup is Invictus, bruh. If you can ask me
Oh,
where I
man.
was when I watched Invictus, those are my memories of the 1995 World Cup. I was in a cinema in Pretoria, funny enough, watching Invictus with my siblings. It was a great moment,
Awesome.
bro. It felt nice, bro. Felt good.
Shout,
And like, if you watch the game in the cinema that day, I can bet you it felt as good in the cinema as it did those 30 years ago.
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Emilio, you're giving my age away there. Eh?
You both
Uh,
still look very young.
You're giving my age away there, Emilio.
I know. This man already had 3 kids when it was 1995. You can see. I was 2 years old, my G.
Philip, just coming to you, obviously we spoke about you being the chairman of the EP Rugby Ref Society. At the moment, what is the landscape looking like for upcoming referees? Are we seeing the right quality of referees coming to the top? Or do you think that the critique of the referees is somewhat of a deterrence, taking into account a lot of talk, especially in the initial stages of this World Cup, seems to have tapered off and the referees have not been getting so much stick. But would you say, especially like the referees at club level, are there enough referees coming through to pick out the quality from your opinion?
Yeah, I think it's a challenging job being the chairperson of any referee society in the world, for that matter.
Nini, can you tell me quickly?
Um, so with that said, referees are being criticized on a daily basis. And even the challenge that we face in the Eastern Cape or in Eastern Province is that they're not just being criticized, but they're physically abused and they verbally abused as well. So you ask me in terms of do we have enough referees? The answer to that is a definite no. We try to recruit guys on a daily basis. It's a tough job, especially when you're a youngster and you know the generation of today. They don't have time for nonsense. If things are not going their way, they will walk away. So it is a tough challenge. We have a crop of young referees in Eastern Province, about 12 of them who's under the age of 25, who shows a lot of promise. But the challenge to keep them interested, the challenge that we face is to keep them interested and to get them to the next level.
Um,
So what I usually say to people when I educate them about refereeing is the fact that if referees at the highest level, because the fact of the matter is the referees officiating in the World Cup currently, they are the best in the world, selected from different countries. So if they make mistakes, who's our amateur referees currently at the age of 25 and under, refereeing in Super League rugby games in Eastern Province. They will also make mistakes, but it's hard for people to understand and accept it.
Absolutely. I think for referees as well, people are quick to jump on the bandwagon, but it's a really, really tough job. Emilio, just coming to you, we mentioned obviously you're proudly a South African stand-up comedian. And in my opinion, not so much different from a referee, where referees control the game with the whistle. You control people with your punchlines. Question for me in terms of critique. Have you ever been heckled in a comedy show? And what is your advice in dealing with such criticism? I think he's just on mute for a second there, Emilio.
He's on mute, yeah.
Nonetheless, we'll continue, my brother. Can you talk to me in terms of, so we spoke about the critique that the referees are facing. I think in terms of what people would like, the viewers, I spoke a little bit about the application of law versus the interpretation. And I think the small caveat to that is perhaps, for example, when the ball is at the base of the last man's feet at the ruck, how much time does the scrum half, for example, have to get that ball out? Because you've seen in the World Cup, there's been 4 seconds, 8 seconds, 11 seconds. So in terms of application versus interpretation, which one matters more?
Yeah, the one thing that's irritating at the moment from a refereeing point of view is this thing that they have this whatever you call it, a train at the back of the ruck where the scrum half is allowed to call in a couple of players so that he can have enough time to kick his box kick. So I reckon they should take that out of the game first of all, because I think it's an unfair advantage. It gives the scrum half more time to execute his kicks. And hence I'm saying that's why they get height on the kick and they get time to kick it perfectly and stuff like that. In terms of the law, the application of the law, is when the scrum half has got the ball, his hands on the ball, and he shows the action of lifting it in terms to in showing an action to pass the ball. That is when the ball is out. So it's not. There's nothing. There's no time connected to it. I can't remember if you can recall the fact that Eben Itzebeth asked the referee if the ball is out. He asked Ben O'Keefe if the ball is out,
Yes.
and then he went and he got him for offsides. And his words to Eben were, "You need to listen to me."
Sure.
So when I refereed games, I used to tell players the ball out call, and just to safeguard yourself as a referee, the ball out call is mine and not yours. If you want to play the ball, you need to ask me. So there's no time connected to whatever phase. You can't. There's no. So the referee will say use it, and you will also. That's another thing that's irritating me. The referee will say use it to the scrum off, and 5 seconds after he said use it, it's still in the ruck. So those are the things that I think World Rugby will have to revisit after this World Cup, and I think they will.
Yeah, for example, you mentioned the 5 seconds now. That's almost been like it's been adopted as a norm. And then just the other thing, touching on that, because it's such a contentious issue, how long can the trail of players be? As long as you're bound, can you have maybe 10 players so you can have a 15-meter long exit?
Yeah, you see, it's one of those things that's not in the law book. And yeah, I need to compliment coaches because I think it's coaches who think out of the box, and that's why they're coaches. They have to think out of the box and they have to try and bend the law. So there's nothing in law that says how long that thing can be. It can be as long as they want it to be. So hence I'm saying they need to take it out of law because no, they need to take it out of the game, or they must write it in the law book because it's currently something that has been brought into the game by coaches, and there's nothing that prevents them from doing it.
I
Yeah.
got you, brother. Then obviously as fans, we tend to have a natural bias. Perhaps even before the referee starts blowing the game, we might not enjoy what he's going to do based on their own bias. For you, who's had the opportunity to play at provincial level and then also referee professionally, are you able to look at the game a little bit more objectively? Because as we know, I think every South African has passed the law exam and we know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, it's interesting. I usually tell youngsters when I recruit them to referee the game or to become referees, I tell them the one thing that will happen to you, you will watch rugby very differently. Um, when you become a referee, you watch the game totally differently. You are not biased to a certain group. You simply see what is going on. Yes, we become angry sometimes because we differ, and it's normal. It's normal to differ. Um, but there is a bias when you come to a rugby field. We usually tell referees that when you arrive there to officiate maroon versus black or green. You played for Bombers, so
Hmm.
you were referee green versus red. You look at colors and you don't look at who plays for the team. First of all, the other thing is for you to build up trust as you go along in the refereeing
Hmm.
fraternity. It's a tough thing to do, but once players and spectators and club officials starts to trust you as a referee, they accept you and they even accept your decisions, even if they differ. After that game, you will walk away and they will actually tell you, when you walk off the field, you will know that you made a couple of mistakes. But having built up that trust over years, people will just accept that they lost or they won and they will move on. But it takes time. It takes time. I think Barnsley, for example, when Barnes is the right person for the job, I called him before the World Cup started. I said to my son, he will referee the World Cup final if England is not there. So thank God England is not there, because otherwise
Yeah,
we would have been out.
sure.
But I think Barnes is the right person for the job, just in terms of experience. He's the referee who's been to the most World Cups. So yeah, we'll see how it goes tonight.
Absolutely, man. And then I think just getting to the Springboks, and I want you to take us through that quarterfinal, semi-final in terms of the resilience, Philip, that the box showed to come through. Do you think that puts us in a good position for the final? A lot of people were discussing that perhaps our energy will not be sufficient to go the third time and win a fourth World Cup. But just share your thoughts in a nutshell. And I just want to welcome back Mr. Emilio Tobias.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that,
No
guys.
problem, brother. No problem.
Yeah, I see you back loud and clear. I actually wanted to know if you know Alfred Adrian.
I know Alfred very well. Very well.
Yeah,
It's a
I was
homie
his
of mine.
teacher. I was his teacher at primary school, eh?
No, that's
Yeah.
fire. Alfred is teaching me now.
Oh, that's
He's a very
wonderful.
good mentor, and he looks out for the young comics.
Yeah, that's great. Roots, on your question. Look, first of all, I think it's the ultimate final that everybody wanted, because in the past there were a lot of sayings about in '87 the box were not there, in '91 the box were not there, then the box came in '95 and they won the World Cup. Somehow we missed each other as it went along. It's either they beat us in a pool game and then we won the World Cup, or they got knocked out somewhere and then we won. In 2007 they got knocked out, we won the World Cup. In 2019 we lost against them, they got knocked out. So yes, it's the ultimate final that you want to be played. In terms of our box, the resilience you spoke about, we will always have that as a Springbok team.
Hmm.
I think when we run on the field, there's so much that we play for as Springboks, in terms of we're playing for the people, we're trying to unite the country, and even if it's just for that time, during the World Cup, we are united. Doesn't matter, like John Smith said this morning, we have load shedding, we don't have water, we don't have this, we don't have that, but we are united. We are united and
Absolutely.
we support the Springboks.
We
So
are
they,
united in
they
struggle.
yeah, resilient they will be tonight. The quarterfinal and the semi-final, it was energy sapping. Our players look tired. Some of our players look tired, especially the seasoned ones like the Kutsoffs and those guys. But I think there's one more game to be played, and no one else. The All Blacks will make us stand up. They will make us stand up, and I think we will fight till the bitter end. And I think the weather conditions will favor us tonight. The All Blacks won't have it their way. If we starve them of ball, uh, I think we have a chance.
Philip,
So
I liked you a lot before the show, but I'm liking you a lot more now, my brother. Thank you for that. Emilio, just coming back to you, the question I posed earlier before we unfortunately separated. As a comedian, in my opinion, it's like comedy is very much like the referee, where the referee controls the game with his whistle. You'll control the crowd with your punchlines. I guess my question is, have you A, been heckled before? And B, what have you done, or what is your advice in dealing with such criticism?
You know, you're right, bruh. Like, being a comic, you're controlling the room, you're running the flow of the show. You basically saying what is allowed, what is not allowed. But every now and then there'll be someone that disagrees with something
always.
you said. You used the wrong word. You made the wrong call on the joke. Like the punchline didn't land out as supposed to. But maybe the thing that maybe won't make me a good referee, if someone does grab my attention or says something that was not okay, may I go in, bruh. May I attack? Now we're on the same level. And the worst part is I have a mic. I have a mic. I go in, I find all your faults from head to toe. And I'll expose all of them there in front of everyone. And then you go back. It's basically VAR. What do they call the VAR there in rugby? I'm a VAR, bro.
Oh, the TMO, yeah.
I'll do a TMO, bro. I'm zooming in on every single thing wrong about you. So
I got you.
if you echo, bro, like, yeah, it's the same thing, bro. I'm reffing there, bro. I'm trying to make a good game for everyone. When are you coming with funny things here?
Sure. So you like the Wayne Barnes of comedy, not Wayne Barnes, Nigel Owens, because it's like you're showing people that you'll assert yourself. I like that, man. I think just also from my side again, Emilio, I'll touch on you again. We're anxious, we're excited for today. I just think in terms of humor, in terms of in the face of serious situations, how does it offer hope? And then you look at characters like Trevor Nyakane, Franco Mostert in the Springbok team. In that heavy cloud of stressful situations where people perhaps have a tough time, mental health being one of the things people have to deal with, how does humor translate to making that load a little bit lighter? And as we say, laugh through the pain.
Yeah, man, like my general philosophy, and it would be the same with humor, is do not take anything seriously. Now I understand.
Unless it's a World Cup final.
Even the World Cup. My man, I'll explain to you what happened to me last week and how I handle it. But like sometimes we think, like we thought we were gonna lose last week.
Yeah.
50 minutes we were like, So
yes.
Same thing, man. I was even like making plans of like, hey, must I go sleep now, or must I just at least wait for the game to be finished?
Same, yeah.
It's just the ability to detach yourself. And sometimes, whether it's anxiety or whatever other mental things, like we think we can control everything. So what tends to happen is, some of the clashes that I have, like either personally or with people at work, is that they get worked up over something. And because I don't stress out, it seems like I'm not taking it seriously or honestly. Even worse if it's a situation where I laugh. And you laugh when it's like, yo, I can't control this. This is so unfortunate. And at the end of the day, the thing is already messed up, whatever you're stressing about. How you end up when you get out of the thing is important. Because it's no use you come out, you are damaged, and the goal you didn't achieve. So rather, you come out, you laugh at yourself. I didn't achieve the goal. Like, yo, I lost everything. Isn't that funny? That's like funny, bro.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? So I think maybe that's just how I look at life. Sometimes offensive to other people if you can deal with something better than they can. But it's all life, bro. We figure these things out as we go.
100%, man. I'm just coming to the comments here. Philip, this one is for you from Reza. He's asking, what is the difference between a ref that makes it at the highest level and those that don't progress? What is the quality that separates them? If you can just encapsulate that for us.
Yeah, I think it's a package. Referees have certain things that they can control, Uh, as in any sport, I tell people you need a bit of luck as well. So within the refereeing fraternity, you you must be fit. So there's a certain fitness level that you need to achieve. The referees run a bleep test. They have to run at a 12.5, which is quite high. If you want to referee at a certain level, which is provincial and at test level. At law exams, there's no negotiation about it. You need to get 80% plus in your law exams. And then obviously you need to your province within your province, you need to referee the highest level, which is Super League rugby in the province and first team schools rugby. And then obviously from there, as an executive or as the people in charge of refereeing in Eastern Province, we will have to get you to the next level. Like you will have to be, we will have to nominate you to go to Craven Weeks under 13, Grand Cormo Weeks under 16, Craven Weeks under 18. So you need to go through those steps. So some referees are lucky that they get handpicked. They go to a certain tournament, someone see them there. That's the luck issue I'm talking about. So that's the luck side of it. They get seen there, they get taken to Craven Week immediately or straight away, and from there they just fly. In my case, it was the same. I started in 1999, and in 2000 I refereed Super League within Eastern Province because I played the game at the highest level. So I was fast tracked, and then in 2000 I was on the provincial panels. But it doesn't happen that way for everybody. Some of the
So do
referees must
you
have patience.
have
Yes,
you refereed games with your friends, and then your friend is there in the game? I mean, if you were playing
yes.
rugby in the 90s and you're like, hey, there's that man. And actually, I saw how he was talking to my wife the other day.
No, that happens. That happens. That's a human factor that comes in. So when I started refereeing, I had to referee my own club, Harlequins. I played for Harlequins, for P Harlequins, which was a high-profile club at the time. So when I finished playing, the next year I moved into the Super League and I refereed them against Sparks. I'll never forget it. So obviously, when you arrive there, they've got expectations. Hey, this guy played for us. Surely he must pull a trick or two. So that is where your integrity comes in. And obviously, when they lost on the day, 24-18, and I was not very popular. But I moved on and I said to myself, well, if you can sleep at night, you made the right decisions. You didn't make a decision that sort of determined the outcome of the game. You sleep well at night. You wake up tomorrow morning and you can face people. Then you move on.
No, that's
But
nice.
yeah, there
No,
is a
fun
human
is,
factor. There is a human factor, and I've now learned that whenever I attend one of your shows, I will keep quiet.
please, man. And don't sit in the front.
I will not
Yeah,
criticize because I've been criticized a lot when I referee, so I'll never criticize you.
No, my
awesome. Free tickets to the shows there, Emilio. Come on.
Yeah, you never know
of
what can
course,
happen.
of course. And a caveat, ne? My cousin, I didn't know it's a franchise. I'm hearing now. My cousin played for Harlequins in Durban,
Oh
and
yeah.
I don't know if it's like a super team, but like I heard like one year they lost every single game, and we were laughing at him. And every time we got a chance, like his team lost every single game.
Uh,
Harlequins Durban. You must maybe go that side and help them out a bit.
yeah. Maybe I must. Yeah.
Okay, just coming back to you, Philip. In terms of the Springboks now, let's focus a little bit on this game. Being a former provincial fly-off, can you share your thoughts, on the feelings that Mani Lebok must be feeling having missed out after being so brilliant in the World Cup? And then I think, what are you telling Andre Pollard pre-game if you are hypothetically the coach in your experience?
Yeah. If I must start with Andre Pollard, I don't think there's a lot you can tell him at this stage as a coach. He's been there. He's done it before. He brings calmness to the team. Um, so I don't think there's. You need to tell him go out there and do what brought you here and what you can do best. For Mani, you need to feel a bit for Mani. I think Mani's problem is his fundamentals. If you are a fly off and you get a kicking role, the goal kicking duties, you need to kick your kicks. And I think that was the thing that brought him down. Because it's one of the fundamentals. People expect you to kick your kicks. And I think when that doesn't happen, it knocks your confidence a bit. It knocks your, as a fly off. If you have the goal kicking, I think that's one of the reasons why, if you look at the French fly offs, they never kick to poles. They are there to control the game. They must control on game. They must concentrate on game management. Someone else has got the kicking duties. If we look at the 2007 World Cup Springbok team, Ruudz James was the incumbent fly off. He never kicked to poles because Percy was there, so he could focus on game management and control of the game and stuff like that. So I feel for Mani, but at this point in time, I think Pollard is the right man for the job, and I think Mani will still play for the Boks for very long.
Awesome.
I'm just wondering. We have a kicking coach. We have a kicking coach who's been paid a lot of money, and I'm just wondering how can he not fix whatever is wrong in
Technical
Mani's
stuff.
kicking, in Mani's technical kicking abilities. Because we know Mani can kick a ball. At this point in time, he's just not kicking it over.
I'm with you,
I had
brother.
this
I think
argument with someone. Sorry, man, you guys know better than me. How can someone teach you to kick? Are you not supposed to come there? We choose you because you can kick. What is a kicking coach going to teach you?
practice is permanent.
Correct. Yeah, in terms of to answer you, Emilio, I think you're born with that ability. I think that the kicking coach is probably the expert in fine tuning little technical things that you maybe do wrong in your run up, in the way you connect the ball. Those are the small fine tunes that he must do. But you can kick the rugby ball. There's no doubt about that. Mani can kick the rugby ball. It's just, and I think his kicking coach at the Stormers has been doing wonders. I know him, Gareth Wright. He's been here at the Kings. He's been a great kicker himself. Played for Western Province a bit. But Felix, I don't know why Felix can't fix Mani's kicking abilities. I can't understand it. But he's leaving now, so maybe someone else can fix it going forward. He's going to England, so he must go on. He must just let us win the World Cup now this year, and then he can leave.
Yes, man. I'm reading here in the comments. Crony says Libok is the future, so he agrees with you there, Philip. Emilio, just coming back to you, in your opinion, in terms of what Rassie and the team have done in breaking that cultural divide within the team and within the South African fans, what is your take on it? Keep in mind, I would also like to hear where you were at and what emotions you were feeling through that quarterfinal and semi-final. So maybe you can wrap that up for us. South Africa, obviously, as we know, we face a lot of hardships, but are we truly stronger together, and have Rassie and Jacques and the team manifested that?
No, just before I get into that, nah, I was asking someone at work who knows rugby better than me. So I thought Rassie Rasmus got demoted because I would see him like in the box there. Like, why is he there? Like, why is there a coach and like he's still around? Like he's doing like a handover. I thought he's doing a handover to the new coach, and I'm like, that must be so like embarrassing, bro. Like you working with. I didn't realize the homie got a promotion, and now, in actual fact, he's the coach's boss, and he's the real coach. Like people don't. I don't even know the other guy's name. That is so
I hear
funny.
you, brother.
Jacques Nienaber.
Yeah. That one. It sounds familiar. Yeah.
Learn it before the final. Come on, eh?
I learned it before the final, but it just shows like Rassie. I've never known who the head of rugby was before. Never. But Rassie is something special, and and I will give him credit. I mean, like he's the person who I guess made the first black captain. But then we must remember, we must give everyone credit, man. Even though in '95 it was just what is his name, Chester. Like it's a thing that's being built, from then. It's like Rassie probably even got some of the fruits from all the work that has been done over the years. The win in '95 did a lot for us. The win in 2007 did a lot for us. So all of that is just, yes, we are stronger together. We're not all the way there yet, honestly, but we are building and we understand like where we're going with
we are cruising
nation building.
nicely.
and all that stuff. Yeah, we're coming nicely. We're coming along nicely. Then, as for like how it was last week, hey, the first game, I was making a noise. I was annoying my wife, and like I'm like not a sports person, but I was behaving like how
But you
you
know
guys
who's
do.
winning and who's losing.
Yeah, I know who's winning, who's losing. I don't understand knock-ons 100%.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes the ball falls, then I'm like, are we stopping the game or not? Or sometimes the ball falls, I'm like, guys, when do we stop? When don't we stop? But I know backwards pass and all those things. I played rugby in school, but we were just running around.
You suffered rugby, yeah. Phillip, just coming to you on this South African New Zealand fixture. In your opinion, you obviously know we're going to war. What makes this occasion so special, and why is it that we seem to bring out the best and I guess the worst in each other?
Yeah, I first want to share something about Rassi with you guys. So obviously I come a long way with Rassi. He was the only coach who used to, after games, if we officiated the Stormers, when he coached the Stormers and he coached the Cheetahs, and you officiated Currie Cup games or Super Rugby games for his teams, he was the only coach who, would, after games, he told us as referees, guys, come and have a red wine with me. I want to chill with you guys because I need to understand how you think. How do you think about the game? He's such an amazing person because he always wants to learn something else from someone else because then he can apply it as a coach. So that was always a great thing about Rassi. In
That,
terms of
that
the,
sounds that sounds like
hey,
bribing, man.
nah,
It
it's
sounds
never
like
bribery. Eh.
bribery, man.
That,
Let me buy you a dop, bruh.
there's a one thing in rugby that I can tell you that I've never ever come across, and that is bribery. It never
Is it?
happens in rugby. Yeah, it never happens. I want to actually tell you, Emilio, you're in a good place. Not understanding what a knock on is, not understanding certain things of the game, you're in a good place. Because there's too many, as Rudy alluded to earlier, there's too many referees out there who doesn't understand what's going on. So you're actually in a very good place. As long as you understand who's winning and losing, it's fine.
Ne?
Yeah.
No, my toxic trait, ne? There's the meme. My toxic trait is that I believe that once I know all, I can coach South Africa.
Or
Honestly,
you can become a referee.
that one also.
Good.
Yeah, Phillip, what if he runs a 15 on the bleep test? You're gonna have to take him.
I will definitely have to take him, yes. Definitely.
just
Oh,
just a
Yeah,
shout
so,
out.
so
that might be the hindrance then. That might be the hindrance.
yeah. So on your question, Roots, it's actually a dream come true for my eldest son because he called that he wants an All Black New Zealand, an All Black Springbok final because he's never seen it. He wants to experience it, so it's going to happen for him. I think if you want to have World Cup finals every 4 years, you want South Africa and New Zealand to play in it simply because of the history and where it's coming from and the rivalry between the two teams. South Africa wants to play against the All Blacks. The All Blacks wants to play against the Springboks. There's so much respect between the two nations and the players in terms of rugby. It brings out the best in both teams, and as you say, sometimes the worst. So hopefully tonight will be the best out of two teams, and I actually alluded to it early in the week. We might go to extra time again. You never know.
100%, man.
Hey,
Just a
I
shout
remember
out here
that.
to Bianca Barnard, who says, "Love the breakfast show." That's my lovely lady who's also tuned in. I think a lot of women are going to be tuned in today. Emilio, is your wife, your family, are you going to be around the table tuned in from early on? Are you letting it flow? What's the plan for you moving forward towards this final?
It's gonna be chilled. I'll try to convince my wife to watch with me, but she sleeps early and she sits on her phone. So I might as well watch alone and I make a noise. But I might go to a braai also. I'm playing it easy. Playing
It
it
sounds
easy.
like you need a bottle of whiskey and a guitar, my brother. But I think, yeah,
Yeah,
Phillip,
sure.
for you, in terms of the game now, obviously you say it might go to extra time. Can you perhaps give us a score prediction, in your opinion? And then, should I say, where are you watching? What are you drinking? What's the plans?
Well, I'm definitely having craft gin tonight.
Yes.
I'm having the family over, so we'll be watching at home. I love watch rugby with my family, especially my boys. But my youngster is in Joburg currently, studying at UJ, so we won't be here. We'll miss him. But the eldest, he will be watching with me. I've watched the quarterfinal and the semi-final, and I had coffee. So tonight it will be a bit different.
Sure,
In terms of a
absolutely.
score prediction, I reckon the box with 5. I think the New Zealanders will come out blazing if we can stop that or absorb that attack that they will run the ball at every if they can, because I think they have a sniff that we're a bit tired, so they will start off quickly. If we can absorb that and smother them and then bring our next 7 forwards on, we'll be in with a shout and we can take it with 5, and history
Awesome.
will be made. Either way,
Awesome.
history will be made. Either way, history will be made tonight.
We're
So your
chasing
score
that fourth
prediction is that
title.
we will win by 5 points or we'll get
Yeah,
5 points.
yeah, it'll be something like 21-16. It won't be. It won't be. It won't. It's a final. Remember, it's a final.
Awesome.
The boys at school are crazy because they think with their hearts and their emotions. They you must always take the emotion out. One of the boys said yesterday, a huge All Black supporter, he said, "Meneer, sal julle môre 50 gee?" To say you're living in a dream world, my boy. It's a final. It'll never happen. And
Absolutely. Box by
obviously with
one even.
yeah,
That'll
not
be
again,
enough.
man. Not again. It's not good for the heart.
I hear you, brother. We've ate so much over the last 2 weeks. Emilio, there's a comment in the section here, in the comment section, should I say, that says you should go and Google the rules of rugby. You have around 11 hours. What's your response to that? That's Monsieur Arteta.
There's one of those
No,
guys, eh?
man. Let me enjoy this game. Let me enjoy this game and not hate the referee. I have 4 years after this to do this thing. But I bumped into a TikTok channel or a Instagram guy who like plays like short clips of referees making like controversial calls, and then he goes to the rule and
Yeah,
tells you this is
yeah.
why and this is what the referee
I
said.
watch it
And I
as
was
well. Yeah.
like, I'll watch those videos for the next 4 years.
Yes,
I'll be sharp.
that's educational, eh? It's
Mm.
good. So on your point, Ruudz, of us being stronger together, I think all we must do is go and watch the videos of how people goes on at the different houses where they watch rugby. It's crazy to watch those videos. Then
Absolutely.
you know, then you
Yeah.
know, the All Black supporters are definitely in the minority in this
Absolutely.
country.
I was also saying, though, the wonderful thing about the Springboks and this journey that they're on with all of us as fans is each individual has the opportunity to utilize that positive energy and perhaps make positive changes in their own lives.
Yeah,
Emilia, would
true.
you agree with that?
Yeah, for the most part, like another comic friend of mine was like, hey, every time things are bad in the country, the Springboks win something. Like,
Yeah,
no, man. Sometimes it can be seen as a distraction, and sometimes like sports and stuff is very surface level. But hopefully, and we have a hope that it inspires us to make like deeper rooted changes and our mindsets change slightly on how we treat people and how we behave. Hopefully, it transcends to more than sports, and sport anyway is supposed to be the catalyst for that positive change. And I think sports wise, we got that down. We are
yeah,
together in South Africa in Springboks winning. We are together in Bafana. Even Bafana losing
true,
unites us. We are
true.
together. We complain together, and then
Sure.
obviously Proteas as well.
Yeah,
Yeah, Philip. No, no, go
how
for it,
nice
my
would it
brother.
how nice would it be if we win the World Cup tonight and the Proteas win it later on?
Awesome
As
stuff.
possible.
Awesome stuff.
And on this thing, Emilio, what is your take on this thing of a possible public holiday if we win?
Tomorrow,
Uh,
now I'm all for it.
Monday.
but then if you support the All Blacks, you must go and work. You must go to work.
Sure.
You can't stay at home.
Sure. Philip coming through there with the jokes. Philip, you mentioned 21-16 to the box. I love that prediction. Just touching back on the refereeing, Wayne Barnes, you seem to be very confident he's the right man for the job. Do you think communication wise, he's going to be able to get across to the players on both sides, but particularly for the Springboks, and we'll be able to adapt to his tempo of communication.
Yeah, I think he's one of the best communicators in the game as a referee. First of all, and then secondly, I think he will also be one of those who will try and prevent controversy. Because the last thing you want as a referee is for people to say there was a certain decision that had an influence on the result of the game. So I think in terms of that, you will be very careful first of all, and you will stick to clear and obvious decisions. And hopefully, this game will not be spoiled by an issuing of a card or something. I hope that
Absolutely.
all 30 players, whenever I hope 15 will be on 15 all the time, because the most terrible thing that can happen in a game like this is a red card spoiling the outcome of the game,
Absolutely.
stuff like that. So hopefully that will not happen.
Awesome. Emilia, we know that you're going to be watching with a bottle of whiskey and a guitar. But what's your score prediction for this evening?
Do you know? Didn't we beat England like 81-5 in the other final?
What final is this, my brother?
Yes, yeah, we did in 2019. It was like 81-5 actually.
No, it was in
No, like
2004, actually.
2007. Well, that
36
was the
0 in the
first
group
game.
stage. And
Yeah,
then
in the first game we
56 in
won
the
them. Yeah,
final.
we beat them 36 0
81-5, and in the final we beat them like something crazy also.
No,
Close
the score
enough.
was 15-6 with no tries.
15-6.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Philip. Thank you
Okay.
for that
So
sound knowledge.
my prediction is that if we get momentum, maybe tell
Yeah.
your students that I think we can get 50. We
You
can reach
reckon?
50. They might do like 15-20. I'm
I
being
love it.
optimistic, but I think we can reach 50.
I like the optimism and the confidence.
I love to climb into your mind for a second, Emilia, but definitely loving the prediction, my brother. Just touching on you as well. For the viewers who would like to perhaps know a little bit more, can you plug yourself for 20, 30 seconds? Where can they find you on Facebook?
Who, me or Mr. Bosch? Mr. Bosch, do you have
You,
Facebook?
Emilia,
Yeah, I
you,
I do.
No, I'm
I'm
Emilio
gonna find
Tobias.
you. I'm gonna find you.
Emilio
Examples.
Tobias _ on social media. I'm currently based in Teberga, so any comedy show here, likely I'm on the lineup. I run a small thing called GQ Comedy where we promote shows and promote comedy in the city of Teberga. We're really trying to push and change the game because stronger together when we're laughing.
Yeah,
So
true.
follow GQ Comedy and then myself, Emilio Tobias _. Thank you, Rudy.
Where, Emilia, where do
Awesome.
you
And
work? Where do you
Where do I
work?
work? I do have a day job. I'd rather not say.
I'm just
but
trying.
most cer-
I'm just trying to detect who works with you because I know a lot of people.
No, you
absolutely,
probably do
bro.
know a couple of people. I work for government, so
Oh, okay. Why are
yeah.
you scared to say you work for government?
No, I can say government. You still
Stronger,
won't find
stronger
me.
together, brother. Stronger together.
Emilia, you do
We must
realize
stay positive.
you've got a responsibility as well to make those people laugh. Anyone you get into touch with today, we're going through a little bit of anxious excitement, eh? So take that on your shoulders and wear it proudly. It's been a pleasure to have you, Mr. Phillip Bosch. Before we say goodbye to you as well, is there any parting words you'd like to add to the viewers for this epic day?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's been wonderful. Secondly, if there's anybody listening out there who would like to become a referee, please contact me.
Absolutely.
Cell phone number is 072 1275290. So please make contact with me. We need referees in this country, not only in Eastern Province. And then on tonight's game, everybody must try and enjoy it. It's not that easy to enjoy. It's tense. It's exciting as well. So enjoy every moment, and hopefully the Springboks will do us proud and bring the World Cup home again. It will
Absolutely.
be
Gentlemen,
historic. It will be historic. So yeah.
It's been an
Nice
absolute
meeting you.
pleasure to
Emilio,
host you
nice
guys.
meeting you.
We wish
Nice
South
meeting you,
Africa,
Mr. Bosch.
when we converse again, that the Springboks have the William Webb Ellis and are coming home. To the viewers watching, thank you so much for tuning in to this breakfast show. Keep in mind, we are live this afternoon for a braai show with Steve and Riza, as well as the show at 3 o'clock with Daniel. The watch along continues from 8 o'clock live with Stevie P. We want all the viewers to share this link, whether it be this breakfast show or the live watch along. Gentlemen, I want to say goodbye, but until we meet again, we say thank you so much. Bye for now from Forever Rugby, Forever Sports.
Cheers.
Sharp.
Cheers.